But guess what? It is February the 1st.
Oh, yes, it is.
I just feel like saying that.
We just told you we wouldn't know what to do with you.
Wouldn't know what to do with me. Because guess what? It is Black History Month. Although I celebrate Black History 365 on the calendar, we have February. We have the shortest month of the year.
Yes.
Right? But that doesn't stop us. We will take every day to make sure that you will know that it's Black History Month, okay? So when y'all see me with my little garment on, woohoo!
Oh, that's African colors?
Yes.
Oh,
so
okay.
welcome to Aging Gracefully, 55 plus. We are here live at Hub 13. Woo! I'm here with the two grumpy old men. Y'all know they are so talented. I always say that jokingly, call them the two grumpy old men. But I tell you what, try to come up against them. They will let you know. Real cute, okay? So this is why being on set with them right now for Black History Month is very, very important, right? I say that because these gentlemen lived it. They were there, okay? They were in the 50s, they were in the 60s, they were in the 70s, they were in the 80s and the 2000s, right? And we have them right here live on set. Clap up for that, you know? So, but we want to definitely pay homage to all the forefathers, the women, children that came before us, that paved the way. We don't want to just say, oh, it's Black History Month, let's keep it going. No, we want to remember. We want to bring them up out the ground again. We want to just resurrect our ancestors, you know what I mean? The things I'm talking about is learning how to eat healthy, learning that even if you don't have a lot, it's still a lot, right? Learning how to pray with your family, things we should still be doing anyway, but sometimes you got to do a reset and a reminder. So I feel like February is a reminder for us to make sure that we're pulling ourselves together, making sure that we're keeping our children, our homes, and everyone together as much as we can. It is not a time to say to yourself, oh, I don't want to be around my family, and you push your family away. No, it's a time to bring the family together. So I think February is a wonderful time to have Black History Month because it sets the tone for the remainder of the year, right? So let's get into that. Let's have the gentlemen introduce themselves. You know, if you on the page, please do me a favor. I think I'm up to 100 subscribers. Can you hit that subscribe button? Because I can't get paid until I get at least $500. I can't get them nothing until we get at least 500 people. Okay, so could y'all, just for the gentlemen alone, hit the subscribe button. I ain't gonna bother y'all, you know what I mean? Just hit the little button and say, hey, I see y'all. That's it, you know what I'm saying? That's it. But anyway, gentlemen, do me a favor. Please, introduce yourselves as only you can.
I have to start off. No need to ask you, Mr. Daniels.
No
Go ahead. You know you always start. Good afternoon, everyone. To God be the glory today. I do want to throw out my usual shout out because, you know, I always give recognition to those that need encouragement, and everything. So my throw out today is to the Porter family for the loss of their father. We all were at the funeral yesterday. And I told him, I said, I'm going to throw you a shout out today. So that's to you, the Porter family. And don't worry, everything's going to be all right. Everybody did what they were supposed to be. And you know God is pleased with you.
Well, I would like to give, my name is George Daniels. I would like to have just a memory to think about William Nance, who passed away, and we had his funeral Friday. And Billy Odom, who passed away, two friends of mine, two very nice gentlemen in the community, would help anyone at any time do whatever they were attempting to do. So I just want the Nance family to know they have my deepest sympathy, and I would like for the Odom family to know they have my deepest sympathy, and God be with you.
You know, I want to piggyback off what you were saying. You know, of course, at every funeral, there's always some interesting discussions. And it seems like they must have been calling your subject yesterday because we had quite a subject, quite a discussion on the fact that family itself and also what struck me along with the interest on the family tip, as a family, throw it out to you this way, as a family, what are you looking for in leadership, not only within your family, but also within your community? And the discussion was, like I said, was very interesting about that. But I'm gonna throw that question out here today. You know, we have a mayoral race coming up. I understand from yesterday's conversation that 6 or 7 people have already thrown their hat in there, which is par for the course, early in the game. But right here, I think we need to discuss, especially with the conditions that we're living in now in the city and on a national level. Okay. I look out the window here at Hub 13, and on our way here, you know something? The city could have done much better job because the middle of the street is clean. That don't mean the whole street is clean. Okay, and I know as a senior, and down in the South Trenton area, we were housebound for 2 or 3 days. But Route 29 was as smooth as this floor. All right, you pushed the snow up, and that's all you did with it. Well, how are we supposed to get over there with the cane and with the arthritis and everything? We couldn't even go to the supermarket, which is across the street. So, but you know, and as we said yesterday, I wonder what the overtime bill looked like for the city of Trenton. That's point number 1. So we can throw that out there if you want to. Point number 2. All of a sudden, okay, and we talk about the past and how Daniels and I, we can recollect on the past. This future is shocking. The 2 black journalists that were arrested for constitutional violations. Well, now who has violated the Constitution any more than the President of the United States? I'm not going to say the administration because they all are kissing his ass. So it doesn't make it's you the leader, you out there, you're saying everything. It's just amazing, and they didn't hesitate. They weren't worried about those that they had shot and killed. Okay, but they locked all those black asses right on up, and this is 2026. So now I'm gonna throw that out there, and let's talk about that.
But everything in America, a lot of people don't want to admit this, but everything in America comes from racism. America is deep rooted in racism. You hear a lot of blacks now talking about America is not a racist country. They either drunk or they lost their mind. Name me something in America that happened that doesn't have to do with race. Everything starts with race. Because
from looking at you, one-on-one, from looking at you.
Your color, your skin color. That's where it starts at when you walk in the door. And when you hear people say, I'm colorblind, that's impossible. That is impossible to say you colorblind because you don't see black and white. What do you see then? You got to be blind. But my thing is this. The biggest threat we have now is you've got so many black people running around, preachers, I'm talking about people and ministers, running around praising Charlie Kirk. Why would a black preacher praise Charlie Kirk? And then you got so many black people trying to defame Dr. Martin Luther King. They want to say what he was and what he was a man among men. I can tell you what he was because I walked with him. He was a man among men. He gave his life for black people. He gave his life.
Who else gonna do that?
For black people.
Well, they're saying that about Charlie Kirk. He
No,
gave
they
his
try-
life,
I put a
but it
poster.
wasn't for black people necessarily. It,
Charlie
quote
Kirk-
unquote again,
They tried to
for the
compare it to-
people.
Charlie Kirk despised black people.
Yeah.
You heard all them terrible
Well,
things?
if the Republicans hugged around him, you know he did. You know
You
he did.
hear all
That was
those
the
terrible
signal.
things, and if you notice, there was a lot of attacks toward black women by white people and black men.
Yes.
You have a lot of black men degrade black women. I don't know why. Their mama black. So why would you degrade a black woman? But I don't want to talk about that because I get angry because I got 6 sisters and I had a mother, I had 2 grandmothers, I had aunties, and I had my neighborhood was black. Everybody in my neighborhood was black. So when people start talking against black people, we need to have that conversation in private. That's the conversation we need to have in private between us. And then we can talk to the public.
But the black neighborhood you grew up in your era of time is not the same black neighborhood that is right now.
No, the neighborhood.
Even if it's totally black.
The
It's
neighborhood.
not the attitude.
The neighborhood I grew up in, I knew everybody lived in my neighborhood.
Well, they do too. They do too, but it's a difference.
But
there's no love, there's no respect. Okay, you respected your next door neighbor, you got your behind whooped. You go over there and tell Miss Sally how you felt if you wanted to.
Now, you weren't going to do that.
No, yeah, see what I mean? That's what I'm talking about.
You weren't going to do that. Whatever she said, it was going to be yes, ma'am, or no, ma'am. Whatever she said. Yes, sir, or no, sir.
But you know what?
And you wasn't going to go home and tell your mama or daddy, Miss Sally got up, what did you do? That was the question. Not you can't tell them what Miss Sally done. They want to know what you done. So this is the respect that the community had. Well, everybody in my community, we all looked out for each other. That's how we survived.
But it's different now because not to interject, but I want to piggyback off that. I had a conversation with a young lady yesterday, and she was saying that she said, "Girl, I was just standing on my mother-in-law porch on Walnut Avenue, and these 2 little girls just walked by." She said, "I was just staring out. I wasn't paying them no attention. I was just in a daze or whatever." She said, "Next thing I know, they started calling me all kind of names and cussing and everything." She said, "And normally I would say something, you know." She said, "But honey, these kids are different." She said, "It could have been no more than 13 years old. 2 little young ladies." So you're saying to yourself, what parent is raising 2 potty mouths at a young age where they can feel as though they can disrespect an adult? Because if you do it to an adult, you're doing it to the teacher, you're doing it at home, because you're not going to just cut it off, you know what I mean? On your way to school, how do you want to be on your way to school and just pick somebody randomly and just start cussing, have a cussing fest? You know what I'm saying? Like, we have to get out of that, and we have to say to our children, listen, act accordingly, because you don't know who I know, and you don't know who you may meet on your way to school. Because if you're going to a school, I feel like schools are like a community. So if you're going to a school, your child is walking, and they got to walk past the bodega, the store, the old lady, all of that's community. Those are people who can guide you, help you along the way, making sure that when you go past their house, you're safe. And those are the communities that we need.
That's why you have the leadership that you have downtown Trenton right now, because the community has collapsed. What you just said, I have a cousin that subs. $252 a day for less than 6-hour work. She refused to go back to school in Trenton. She said it's not worth it. All right, so I can relate to the attitude that you're talking about. She said it's just not worth it. Now I talked to ex-principal when we was at NAACP meeting. He said, I asked, "Well, are you still? You're retired? Do you sub?" He said, "No, but they called me in on an administrative level." He said, "Because I would not go back in the classroom." Now you know something? That's a hot mess.
Yeah.
Well, the school system is a mess. When I was going to school, when we went home every evening, when we got out of school, we talked about the teacher. Miss Cunningham, Mr. Powell. We talked to Mr. Pruitt, who was the principal. These are the people we talked about, the things that they told us, the things that they said that we could do to make our life better, teaching us how to act, things not to do. But now these children don't even talk about the teacher. Because I know some children that go to school, when you come home, I say, "You having a homework?" No. So but these schools are not what they're meant to be. Now me myself personally, I noticed that where there's 5 or 6 black children attending white schools, there's a lot of trouble. There was a lot of racism directed at the children. I would not send my children to one of those schools, not me. If my child go to school, me myself, now this is me piece speaking. So if anybody don't like it, you got to talk to me. You can't talk to my neighbor, you got to talk to me. I don't want my children to have no white teacher. I don't. I want them to have all black teachers, because I don't think a white teacher are going to be concerned about my child, a black child, out of the way that a black teacher would. Because I can name all the teachers that I had when I was going to school. I can name every one of them right now. And each one of them taught me something that the other one didn't. And everything they taught me was to make life better. How to treat my fellow man right. Things to do to be accepted. And how to accept people. Well, they're not teaching children that now. Because all they talk about is fighting. Fighting. Who wants to fight? There ain't nothing easy about fighting. Believe me.
Also, what you're saying, the kids now in the Trent school system, they don't really stand down because the majority of the teachers in the school system are white. And they're there for the money.
Yeah.
Right.
They're there for the money.
They still alone.
This is what happened. This is what happened. With this so-called integration. This is what happened. They took some white teachers and put them in black schools. They took 2 black teachers and put them in a white school. And they call that integration. But that's not integration. So why play the game? Why play the game? Why play the game? Like, take Trenton. Where do the white people in Trenton go to school at? In Trenton, where do they go to school at?
Notre Dame, what's the other Catholic school out at Hamilton?
Nowhere around. They just go to
No, they don't go. If they're in the Trenton public school system, they're considered poor white trash.
So that,
And they look at it.
my thing is this. My thing is this. If you want educated black children, give them some black teachers. That's how I feel about it. I got nothing against white people teaching. If you want to send your child to a white, God bless you. God bless you. But I want my child to go and have a black teacher, somebody they can identify with. Somebody that's going to tell them about life, about how it is. See,
Well, that's part of teaching.
see, I can't tell a white child about how his life should be, or what it's like.
You don't know nothing
See,
about
I can't tell him that.
Right.
But I can tell a black person about what it's like being black,
Absolutely.
because they can identify with me. They, you know, we are going to talk, and we're going to talk, but we're always going to talk on a grown-up and child level. The child is never going to come up to my level, and I'm never going to go down to the child level. But they gonna, when we get through talking, we're going to be good friends. Because I'm not going to tell them anything wrong. Now, getting into black history.
Yes.
This is what a lot of people don't know about. Black history is all about yesterday. That's what people don't understand. If it don't be for Thurgood Marshall, then there will be no Fred Gray. If it don't be for Fred Gray, there will be no Arthur D. Shores. Everybody that you see in the civil rights movement is following in somebody's footsteps. If it don't be for the Pullman Porters and Brother John, there will be no Dr. Martin Luther King. Dr. Martin Luther King was not a civil rights leader. They gave him that job. He was not a civil rights. He didn't wake up one day and say, I'm going to be a civil rights leader. They had started the bus boycott in Montgomery, and they needed the Pullman Porters. That's who really started. And they needed someone to keep it going. So they said, we got this young minister talking about Dr. King. We'll put him in charge of it. That's how Dr. King. Then they started the SCL, the Southern Christian Leadership Conference.
There would be no Clarence Thomas without Thurgood Marshall.
But Clarence Thomas, believe it or not, was leaning toward the Black Panthers. See, he made, I don't know what happened to Clarence Thomas. But
I
then,
can't say it on air.
but then, when George Bush, when he started working with George Bush, you know, and he became a Republican, because he was a Democrat.
It was a circle that he was allowed in, and he felt comfort because he saw it's two different worlds.
Right.
Okay? I don't care how much you and I can get away with amongst our community, but we still don't have no corporations. So we're not calling any big shots, you know? We might be chief of police, okay? But how many black governors are there?
But what
You know what I mean? Plenty black mayors with no power.
but because, how you do, sir?
All right.
And my thing is this. If we build up the black neighborhood, and we be concerned about our neighborhood, not moving into another neighborhood,
right.
but building up our neighborhood like we did before they was able to move into those other
How
neighborhoods.
about that?
We can do some wonderful things in our neighborhood. And the reason why we know we can do some wonderful things because the towns that we built, they burn them down, they put them underwater. So there is a fear in us working together. So now, Miss Claudette Colbert, she passed away. That was a young lady that refused to give up her seat in Montgomery. And that's where Rosa Parks came in. See, if it don't be for Claudette Colbert, there'll be no Rosa Parks.
There you go.
That's where she come in at. So it was a lot of people, like Dr. King, if it don't be for Reverend Fred Shuttlesworth in Birmingham, Dr. King never come to Birmingham with his campaign. Fred Shuttlesworth brought him to Birmingham. The jails was full of people. And Dr. King could raise money. Whenever the doctor came, all your entertainers, you had some entertainers that did some wonderful civil rights work. Mahalia Jackson could have gone and made millions and millions and millions of dollars. But she was right there with Dr. Martin Luther King.
Yes, she did.
Harry Belafonte, Sammy Davis Jr., all Sidney Poitier, all these people sacrificed their lives and their living to support the civil rights movement. But now we got black people trying to tear down black people that we should be talking about every day.
So whose hands are they playing into?
They're getting paid by Mega. See, anytime you hear a black man degrade his race, but never degrade a white man, he's been paid. He's been controlled.
But one wrong thing he does, just like, let's think about an accusation that was made by Jesse Jackson, whether or not he whooped his wife or not, they canceled his show just like that.
Yeah, but you know.
But this is why this Epstein thing is so ridiculous. Go on and tell on everybody.
Yeah.
For Pete's sake.
They're not gonna tell on all of it because that means a lot of people got to tell on themselves. See,
If your name is on the list, you were not there for a cocktail party.
no. So
Okay.
now, if you let me erase my name off the list, now you can tell it all.
Tell it all.
So that's the situation. But my thing is this: we need to look back to coming out of slavery.
Yeah.
Coming out of slavery, we built towns, we built hospitals,
Okay.
we built schools, we built nursing homes, we built businesses, we built everything when we came out of slavery. And we had nothing. And we have nothing. Now we have
Lots.
black men walking around with $20 million watches on. 10 million got
They ran all
$40
their
million
all
house.
their money ran on it.
You know
All the
something?
$40 million
As
house.
of yesterday, but they had the big thing in Philadelphia. I was so disappointed in Irvington. He came out, I had to put my glasses on to cut the reflection.
What
Why
happened
would you
yesterday?
have this thing around your neck like that? You're at the basketball game. They're honoring you. Now, what example are you setting for my grandson or my granddaughter?
Was it a medal around his neck?
You know them chains and stuff. This thick, and I'm like, come on. You'll see it on the news. Look for it. To me, it was disappointing because you know something. You don't have to show your wealth. You know,
You
we
have to
know
wear
you're
it all
doing
in one
commercials
day.
now, but you were idle for years because nobody would mess with you because of your attitude. It was people like who's the little short guy that does all the commercials? The
Kevin?
black guy.
Is it a ball player or
No. He does the.
Kevin Hart.
Kevin Hart?
No.
Kevin Hart.
Kevin Hart pushed a whole lot of them back up from when they were down. Okay? Even the one that was married to the singer. He's got a show now. And the guy that played Opal, he got a show now. I bet they all know Kevin Hart. And see, you don't have to.
Don't make no
You have
enemies.
to flaunt your wealth like that. Look like a mentor. Look like somebody that I want to look up to. If I'm in Donley Homes, I can't afford that. And that misguides my whole intention, my whole motivation. I should be trying to get my family out or helping my family improve their economic status or whatever the case might be. Very disappointing. even though you do what you want to do with your money, that is true. But you know something? We are still short in numbers. White athletes are far richer than we are. Just a few of us that have made it over that barrel, like Shaq, and all of them. They have made money just in advertising, okay? And they made money when they played. Well, no. You know the Shaq's wealth is quiet. Nobody knew that man got a $32 million yacht. I mean,
But here's something I don't understand. This is something I really don't understand. During the civil rights movement, entertainers used to come together and put on shows to raise money for the movement, for the cause, to fight for the cause. These entertainers now, they don't do anything that I see to fight for the cause. They don't even talk about the cause. They don't see. In other words, when you see a bunch of football players talking, they're talking against another player. They're never building each other up. They're always tearing each other down. They're trying to figure out, is Michael Jordan greater than LeBron James? Michael Jordan been out of basketball 100 years. LeBron James still playing. Wilt Chamberlain is dead and gone. They still trying to figure out who's the best player. There is no such thing as the greatest player, because at the moment anyone can be the greatest. At that moment. Because the players that played in the 60s, the people that's born in the 70s and 80s, they don't know nothing about them.
that's right.
They got to go by what they see. We should be talking about what they talk about, what the black community does not have. All right, come together and let's sit down and talk about what we could do, what we don't have in our community. If we had our own stores, people could have some jobs. If we had some bakeries, that would create some jobs. If we had some manufacturers, that would create jobs. If you got money, any man that could wear a $20 million watch can build a building, build some buildings. If you don't do them but build the buildings and rent it out, we're not asking you to give anything. What we're asking you to do is invest in the black community. I'm tired of y'all talking about the hood, the hood, the hood. I didn't grow up in the hood. I grew up in a community. I grew up in Pratt City. We didn't have no hood. We had a community. We didn't fight each other. We didn't shoot at each other. We wasn't cutting, and we didn't have any games.
But the word hood is not even 30 years old.
But then
they call it
right. But you see the
low
hood
income or row house or ghetto.
You hear hood, but you don't see no street sign saying pull off the neighborhood to hood. So why can't we have like we had before? We had the Negro League. We lost it. We lost it. They had a nightclub out there where I lived there called the Grand Terrace Ballroom. All your entertainers, like from, I think he built, Mr. Puss built it in the 20s. They think he built it in the 20s. So then that's when all the entertainers started coming, 1920. Because when I was a little boy, we used to go out to the Grand Terrace Ballroom and stand around and watch them guys come in. B.B. King, Bobby Blue Bland, all of them used to come to the night tour. They stayed at the A.G. Gaston Motel, a black-owned motel in downtown Birmingham. That's where they stayed, or they stayed in different people's houses because things were segregated. When the black baseball players came to Indianapolis Town, or those other teams came to Birmingham to play, they had houses and stuff in the hotel already ready for them. People knew they was coming. When Dr. King them came to town, they had houses for them to stay in because Dr. King stayed in a different house every night. Every night they stayed in a different house. This is what you call togetherness. That's what we used to have.
And that was for security reasons too.
Right, that was security. So we could do the same thing now, but we just need some investment in our community. Now, I'm looking at the governor, the new governor-elect that we just got. I'm looking at her cabinet. The people that she picked, they look mighty white to me.
I thought so.
They look mighty white to me.
So too.
So this is what I'm looking at.
This couldn't be her cabinet the other day on TV.
So my question,
Democrat?
so this is my question to all the black people, all the black leaders that came and said vote for her. This is my question to them. What kind of deal did you get from her for you to say, vote for her.
Well, you know, they said that at NAACP. Remember?
Yeah, I know.
It came up as a question.
But I want all of these.
What was in it for us?
I want all of these. Then I want to know why, and why they don't put money into the city of Trenton. This is the capital. This is the only capital in the world they don't put money in.
The money is invested in the city, but it's on West State Street. East State Street is getting nothing. So if you're not right on West State Street, and I don't mean the streets above it or below
It's a
it,
certain,
you know, they got a brand new park down there, brand new visiting center, this, that, and the other. They just a 3-year renovation that took 8 years
Yeah,
to
it really
complete.
did. Oh my God.
Okay, so
Is
look
it
at all
finally
that money,
complete
but
now?
that's all West State Street, okay? And we keep electing people that used to be on West State Street and putting them on East State Street, and it's not working. It's not
But
working.
even though all the work is being done on West State Street, it's not being utilized. You know what I mean? So let's see, are y'all gonna utilize it, or you gonna just keep taking all the money and making all these fancy, you know, statues and sidewalks and all that? We don't need no more statues, we don't need no more
Well,
sidewalks,
you know,
we don't need no more circle,
Right.
intersections, you know what I mean?
But they
Like,
started this declinement in funds for Trenton ever since Tony Mack. Okay? So the Republicans started it, okay? Oh, I'm not giving him anything.
Chris Christie, I tell you who said it.
12 million
Chris
versus
Christie.
what they were given before. Go ahead.
Chris Christie, the one that started, they wasn't gonna give any money to Tony Mack, the little money, and Tony Mack refused. And Tony Mack refused the pennies that they offered him.
Because
And
they
then,
want pennies.
and then the Democrats come along, they come along whispering in his ear, you take this money because the city needs it so bad. So now, they take this plantation money, and everything the city of Trenton does, it got to come from the state. The state got to okay it. If that's not living on a plantation, then you tell me what living on a plantation is.
Well, that's why it's February the 27th, and I'm gonna keep repeating
Go
this
ahead.
all month. They're having a meeting at the waterworks so that you can ask questions about what's going on, why, what's the matter with the water, break it down. They're supposed to have a Q&A down there on the 27th, and it's at 5 o'clock. Did you say that in WCTV?
Yeah.
Yeah, 5 o'clock. So, you know, it's not that, you know, I can't make it because it's not during the middle of the day. It's for working people.
okay.
And to kick back on that, the city keeps saying they don't have. Well, you know something? You have, because you got all the municipalities that border you and the city of Trenton paying for water. So don't tell me what you don't have. It's what you doing with it.
No, are they paying? That's the question.
Yeah.
Are they paying?
Are they paying?
Oh,
They
well,
using it,
well,
but
I'll guarantee you they're not paying like they're supposed to.
No.
Well, I'm quite sure
But they're using it.
there's some balances and this, that, and the other, but what I'm saying, the point is, this is your greatest source of income. So for you to holler what you don't have, and you're not doing anything with what you do have, all right? Somebody's paying for water, because I'll tell you what, your water will be shut off and a lien will be put on your property, okay?
Okay.
Well, let me tell you something that the city of Trenton done. I watched them do this. Up on Broad Street, starting on the opposite side, north of Perry Street, on Broad Street. They had a lot of little businesses along there.
Yes, we do.
They had a lot of businesses. They got the one building on the left that they got left used to be the grease store. You know where they sell wigs and grease and all that stuff. Sam had that. There used to be a little church in there. The place was an after-hour joint to next to it. Then it was a church there. Then it was 235 North Broad Street where I had. And right across
Was that a church?
our kind. And then to the left of that, they had an apartment building. And right across the street, like that little alleyway,
Right.
they had a print shop. Then they had two houses.
And
Okay.
then they had Borden's Dairy,
They had the big dairy right across the street,
Kern Soda,
and then Curry Soda, and then
okay?
right
They had
there
Black Barbershop,
they had a rooming house. They had a rooming house where you
Right.
go and rent rooms and
But
stuff.
they had the Black
they had
Barbershop?
they had what burned it down was they had refrigerator store. They sold refrigeration. And that store caught on fire. And that burned the building to the left and to the right down. Because the Spanish guy that I knew had the store to the right, and then there was a house next to it.
Right.
But then they go up 5 points. They take away Willie Mitchell. They take away the furniture store. They take away the bar. They take away, they used to have a paint factory up there. They take away the paint factory. They closed down, they closed down the C-Bar. They closed down the church next to it. Then they go across the street. They took that whole corner. They took the corner with famous steakhouse, grocery store, drug store, the liquor store around the corner, the shrimp boat, the movie theater, Sam Haberdasher, all that. They tore the business section out. They took the heart of the business out of North Trenton. And it sat stagnant for 30 years. Now they putting some kind of big building up there, but that is not for...
Part of the health center.
Actually, it's not.
They could have put that building somewhere
It's another health center, actually. So they're not joined together.
Well, what is it?
It's supposed to be
The mental health?
a birthing center, but where women could go and be seen, and things of that nature. So it's just another.
So they're not under the same grant?
No.
Okay,
No, it's
they
two
got their
different
own
things.
grant.
Yes, yeah.
But whatever it is,
Okay.
it's a terrible location because there's no parking up there. And when they
Well, the
put,
health center been there forever, and
Yeah,
everybody's up and down the
yeah,
street,
but then
so.
what it helps in is, right around that Tucker Street,
Right.
they used to have a big old vegetable market around there. They had a big, cause they used to sell them big 100-pound bags of onions, 50-pound bags of
Mercer
onions,
Food
potatoes,
Cold
and
Storage.
stuff and all that.
Mercer Food Cold
Yeah,
Storage.
and they did all that. They had a gas station over there. They had
Black
another
owned.
building. They had
Black
food
owned.
rooms. They had everything up there, and they come up with this great idea. But my thing was, they just got rid of it to get rid of the business. And after they got rid of the businesses, then they found somebody that needed some land to put up something. And right across the street, they had a school. Used to be a school right there on that corner. Platts had his, Platts used to do clothes, tailor shop. Then they had a beauty shop there. Then they had Ace Record Shop up there. Then when they closed that 5
The
Point
whole
Town,
area was plenty of commerce.
But the last, not to cut you off, but the last black district that we did have was right there on Passaic Street, where the Candlelight was, and all those, all up in here were
Like
all
the tire
black.
place, Larry,
all of
that,
those,
okay.
and now they
But
sold.
it was nowhere near as big as 5
But that was the only
Well,
piece that was left.
You got
yeah?
one now, right here on this corner. You got the Jamaicans, you got African Americans. I don't know what they're getting ready to do with Maxine's. They took the sign
A
up
pizza
and they took
place
it
or
back
something.
down. But I mean, it's still a vendor. But I mean, just right here, you can go get what we eat, and it's some of what they eat there. So it's kind of mixed, and we haven't seen this in a while because usually now everything is so spread out since they shut 5 Points down.
right? So they took the heart out of North Trenton.
Yes, they did.
Because when you went to 5 Points, everybody came through 5 Points going in one direction or another. But they came through 5 Points.
Yeah.
Indeed.
They had
Even if
the
you didn't have to,
lounge
you
up
was gonna
there.
go through 5 Points. I'm trying to tell you.
They had the
Everybody
lounge
was
up
trying to
there.
get through 5 Points.
When I first went to 5 Points, I thought I had died and gone to heaven. I said, Lord, look at here.
When they opened up the
This is
shrimp
where I
place,
belong.
I really thought that they were giving that fish away. I had never seen a line that long.
Man.
I mean, the McKitchen family made a fortune on the just with the fish
And those
the
shrimp.
chicken wings and the gizzards.
And then they had the vegetable market.
Pumpkin had it.
And the
That's right,
vegetable market.
Pumpkin had it right there.
And across the street from there, the Gideons had a market across the street from
A
there.
little further
Yeah.
down, by where Our Lady is, where the
Right.
Catholic Church.
And then you got, you had the Blue Note down there, Fat Daddy
The
said they had the
black-
coldest beer in town.
See?
Yeah.
A lot of
something
rich
about-
heritage
Well,
in the
Reverend Donald
city.
Watson had something to do with the Blue Note at one time.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Yeah. But
The
the
Tuxedo
Fitzgerald
Club. There's a
family,
lot of different things in Trenton. They had a lot of great
Oh.
venues to go to.
Trenton makes world taste.
Out on Clinton Avenue. They had a lot of businesses out on Clinton
Yes, they
Avenue.
did.
Yeah.
Scotty had a restaurant out there. They had a pool room out there.
Yes, they did.
They had all,
Waldine.
Waldine.
Yeah.
They
They
Stanley
stand in
had a
line for that
restaurant.
macaroni and cheese at Waldine.
They all
would
had-
stand
they
in line and
plenty
get it
black
right
people.
out the oven. The thing still be bubbling.
But what about
And
the
she
man who
would
used
sell
to
a
sell the
whole
chicken on
pan.
Popular, on corner
Who?
Popular? The church guy who sell the chicken.
Reverend Thomas.
Reverend
yeah,
Thomas.
yeah.
He had a brilliant idea. He was Reverend Thomas, and his church was a cult, but they went into them bars and sold that chicken.
Yes,
and
they
it was all
did.
pan-fried chicken.
But that chicken that they sold for $1, you could not get one of those sandwiches for 95 cents. You had to have $1.
Oh, yeah.
They didn't take any shorts. Like say, if I got 95 cents, you won't eat.
No.
They didn't take any shorts.
Really?
The chicken
And it was
sandwich
so
was $1,
organized.
and that's what they paid.
And you
That is
never
a
got
part- that is
you
apartment
never got,
right
and you
now.
never got a cold piece of chicken.
And they
All right?
cooked that
And
chicken go straight to the
were
bar.
cooking it off of Clinton Avenue,
Yeah.
down there by Pepsi's and,
Right.
what was the other bar down there?
The
Pepsi,
Pears
Pears
and all them other
that.
bars.
It was right in between
George's.
there. George, that's right.
But I heard this is why they end up moving the police station to Clinton Avenue because of all the entertainment district that was on Clinton Avenue. Because the police station originally was on Broad Street, but then they moved it to Clinton Avenue where it is now.
No, the police station was originally down on Willow and State. They had the main fire station was there, and if you went to the first precinct police station, that's where you got your ass whooped. Okay, and it's a high rise there now. It's just true story. Now you ask anybody a little bit older than me and him, ask them about that. If they in their 90s, they'll tell you about down there on Willow Street.
Judge Cooper.
That was where the jail was.
Yeah, Judge Cooper.
On Cooper Street. On Cooper Street. Cooper Street is still a street in Trenton, but it's where the county jail used to be. And remember they tore the county jail down and built the Mercer County? Was a jail that was.
But do you
the
remember
jail.
the one on Broad Street by Beatty?
Yes.
That's what I'm trying to say.
That
That's
was
the-
the
that's the
second district.
Okay, yeah.
That was the second district. You get your ass whooped out there too.